welcome to my channel. For those of you who've been keeping up with my Konmari series, I know you are all excited to see this finale video. Believe me, I am as excited as you are in making this. For those of you who are new to my channel and watching this video for the first time, I hope that this video would inspire you to watch the rest of the videos I've made featuring the Konmari method, and don't worry because the links are posted down in the comment box below. Alright, so let me tell you a quick background about the Konmari method. Konmari method is a method of decluttering and organizing created by Marie Kondo. It is deciding whether to keep your items, each of them, by asking yourself, does this spark joy? And if it does, you can keep it. If it doesn't, you have to say thank you and you have to let it go. It also proposes a systematic process of going over your items or your stuff by category, starting with the clothes, followed by the books, the papers, and the kimono items or the miscellaneous, and the sentimental items being the last. Now, over a course of time, you will realize that Konmari method is more than just a method of decluttering, but rather it is kind of like a way of life. But that I will elaborate upon as we go along. Now, Marie Kondo wrote a book about it last 2015. It was released, but I honestly don't have any idea about this method until March of this year, when I watched her famous Netflix series Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. And from then on, I have set myself into a lifelong mission to tidy up my house and live a life filled with gratitude and joy. So before I head on to sharing my thoughts on each stages, I wanted to show you guys something, and I know you've all been waiting for this. With so much pride and excitement, I'm gonna be popping in the before and after of my room. Are you ready? Please watch this. right there on the bag. Well, it's definitely not an easy job. So because of that, I think I deserve a pat on the back. What do you think about it, guys? Please share your thoughts on the comment box below. It doesn't have much on the outside, you know, but as I told you, I only have a small room. But I didn't let that get in the way and let it be as an excuse for just dumping my stuff wherever and just mindlessly piling each of them on top of the other. So now let's go to my thoughts and sentiments on each of these stages, starting off with the clothes. From the very beginning, I have already confessed that I am sort of a shopaholic. I love sales. Whenever I see those red tags hanging around, I'd be like, uh-oh, someone is going home with an empty bank account. But don't get me wrong, I don't over splurge, okay? When it's payday, I always think that I should treat myself for a month's hard work by buying new clothes. When it's not payday, I just think that I needed to go out and do some shopping as a form of retail therapy when my anxiety starts to kick in. For whatever the reason, I end up having clothes that I don't get to wear for more than twice a year. So this is where Konmari method comes in. During the entire process, I personally think that decluttering the clothes is the most difficult stage of all, at least for me. It was really tough because I really didn't know what I was feeling about certain pieces. There were some items I didn't feel anything, I didn't feel any joy, but at the same time I thought it would be such a waste to just get rid of them. And also there were some items that went into my maybe pile and I went over them again and again. And I think that's completely normal. You know, it's always like that at the very beginning when you start. But the most important thing is, as you go along, your decision-making skills on choosing which items to keep and which items to let go will be sharpened. That's for sure. One important life skill that I've learned from the Konmari method is the Konmari way of folding clothes. Essentially, there are some specific guidelines set by Marie Kondo to fold each specific types of clothes. And with a great deal of perseverance, I have tried folding my clothes the Konmari way. So basically, when done properly, they will be able to stand upright, which is related to the next thing I'm going to emphasize, which I love the idea as well. It is the vertical filing. Given the type of closet that I have, the way my clothes were stored before, they were just piled on top of each other. And so it's difficult to take out one piece from the bottom in case I want to wear that, because some clothes might just fall off. But with the Konmari method, it introduced to me a new way of organizing my clothes, the way I can see everything better. It has become a lot easier for me to take out one piece of clothing out without having the feeling of playing Jenga or something. As for the books, it was a lot easier. I love reading books, but I don't think I have that strong attachment to most of them. And so it didn't become a factor in deciding whether to keep them or not. The only books that meant so much to me were my Witch comic book collections. And so I decided to keep them. But also because I wanted to read them all over again to practice my voiceover techniques. Because one concept that I've learned from the Konmari method is that keep books that reflect only to yourself, to your ideals, to your dreams, and to what you want to become in the future. And that is why Konmari method has always been special. Because more than just an organizing method, it is a journey of self-discovery. You get to know more of yourself as you go along the process. And so, for me, after I finish my bookshelf, I envision it to be full of language books because I love studying languages. And let's see where this journey will take me. For the papers, at the beginning, I thought I didn't have much because I have already decluttered papers last year without knowing the Konmari method. But after I gather everything, I still have a lot. But after having done the KonMari method, surprisingly, I ended up throwing almost all of the paper junks that I've been keeping for years, including the sentimental ones like some letters, college notes, boarding passes, and whatnot. Again, the basic rule of Marie Kondo for decluttering and organizing papers is that to discard everything. And so I did. Now, going over the fourth stage of the KonMari method, which is the komodo or the miscellaneous items, I honestly haven't got rid of so much stuff. I'm basically just decluttering my room, so I don't think I have much of komodo items to begin with. I mean, sure, I have my makeup, but they're just few. I also have my belly dance costume, my favorite linen sets, and my Disney plush toys, which I can't get rid of because almost all of them brings me joy as of the moment. And I don't think I have much gadget and electric stuff. As for the toiletries, I think I have just about enough as well, which I will definitely be using for the rest, or for the next couple of months. And so basically it was mainly organizing that took over this stage. And speaking of organizing, there is this one thing, and I really mean one thing, that I have only seen the importance of had it not been with the KonMari method, and that is the use of the boxes. Which in my case, I have been recycling shoe boxes, jewelry boxes, and other boxes I could find in the house into an organizing trays or organizing boxes. KonMari method has totally changed the way I see them. Last year, when I did a major organizing and decluttering of my room without knowing the KonMari method, I have thrown a lot of shoe boxes, which I regret so doing now. Boxes play a big role in this method. And it's just so amazing how I get to recycle these old shoe boxes into a much more useful tool into making my room and my house tidy and organized. And lastly, the sentimental items. For some people who know me personally, they would say that I'm a very sentimental person. Every single thing matters to me, like the letters, the photos, the receipts, and even the boarding passes, as I've mentioned earlier. And so I learned through the process. So being able to let go of some sentimental items that sparked joy in me in the past is something that has changed me big time. KonMari method has helped me realize how important it is to make peace with your past by being thankful for it, by being thankful for the good parts, by being thankful that it happened. I know sometimes we hold on to these tangible things because that's all what's left with those persons that we hold close to our hearts before. Or maybe we just let it gather dust somewhere because we are too afraid to be confronted by those memories, by those emotions of those persons who are gone. For whatever the reason, I hope you get to try the KonMari method and see for yourself how it made me see things in a different light and be thankful for a life I have lived so far. So with all that being said, I know you already know the answer to the question, is KonMari method really life-changing? Well, to be able to declutter a typical room fully loaded with stuff and clothes and be able to transform it from this to this is just so empowering. Now, whenever I enter my room, it makes me feel lighter and more calm. Being a person who experiences anxiety a lot, having KonMari in my room makes me feel better on days when I struggled to find joy in my life. That was me before, and I think that's still me right now. I have always been struggling in finding joy in my life, and it's like I'm always out for more to better myself. And because of that, I overthink a lot. So with the KonMari method, it has helped me become more grounded and be more mindful of what is around me. thus actually living each moment. It has helped me live a life full of gratitude over things I normally take for granted before. And so I think that would have an effect on how I also treat other things in my life, like those which are intangible, like relationships. I tend to take for granted friendships and relationships before. And so now I can tell that I am more mindful about it. And so with the refreshing environments around me, I can now find time and joy reconnecting with my old friends. Will I recommend it to other people? Yes, I will. I will recommend it firsthand to my mom, who has a much more cluttered room than I have. And just so you had a general idea on the effect of the Konmari method, one time I was trying to rest in my mom's bedroom, and the next moment, I don't know, I just got irritated easily. Well, basically looking at all her cluttered stuff on display, it triggered my anxiety for no reason, and it made me a grumpy person. Just imagine how different it's gonna be when you wake up in a tidy room full of things that brings you joy. And that's exactly how I feel whenever I wake up in my room. That has been Konmari. And also, another important concept about the Konmari method, which I think would absolutely be helpful to my mom, is creating a home for every item. Because every day she keeps asking, who saw her phone? Who saw her purse? Who saw her pens? And whatnots. I love you, Mom. So now I'm excited to say that I have finally convinced my mom to Konmari her room and our kitchen. She won't let me organize those, but when she finally saw my room after I did the Konmari method, she started folding her clothes bit by bit and started asking me how to properly fold those clothes. So I'm gonna help her out. Having tried the Konmari method for the first time, I feel like I have pressed the reset button of my life. I have become more conscious on minding the things around me that brings me joy. I've always believed that a clear space equals a clear mind. And with that being said, having a clear mind right now makes me have more drive and focus on doing the things I've never done before. In doing the things I've always wanted to do, like making these YouTube videos, for example. And everything I did after that is all about the things that brings me joy. It almost feels as if everything in my life right now is at balance. But I can also feel that the best is yet to come. For now, it might just seem like a hobby, but it wouldn't hide the fact that I would want to bring this kind of lifestyle for the rest of my life. And while some of you might think that this is kind of like a mother or a wife or a family thing, if you're watching this and you are a single, career-oriented person or even just a teenager, I would say it wouldn't hurt to try and see for yourself how Konmari method can improve some areas of yourself or your life. And also, I would like to stress this part right here. Please listen. Coming from Philippines, which is a third world country, most of you might think that Konmari method is just for the rich people who have big houses, fancy closets and drawers and whatnots, and who have money to buy all these clothes and other stuff. And so if you don't belong to this status, this method is not for you. Please, please, please stop seeing Konmari method this way. Whether you have a big house or a small house or a house in a van or wherever, it doesn't matter. I also came from an average family. I also live an average life. I also struggle so hard to make a living and build that dream house. But I don't want to wait for that dream house to happen before I start making the place that I live in right now tidy, organized, and beautiful. Again, Konmari method is all about tidying and surrounding yourself with things that brings you joy. And that is what I'm here for. To show you guys that even the simplest house can look simply rich just because it's tidy and filled with joy. With that being said, I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you who've been with me throughout this journey and up to this point. I have poured my heart and soul into making all these series of videos, and I'm sure there's gonna be more to come. If you know me personally, maybe you could let me crash into your house and do the Konmari method. Just kidding. Well, half meant. If this video doesn't spark anything in you, I would recommend you guys to watch Marie Kondo's famous Netflix series, Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, and let's see where it'll take you. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please do hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button as well. And also please feel free to share your thoughts, comments, and feedbacks in the comment section down below. And feel free to message me as well in my Instagram account, Senorita Maria. Until the next video guys, as always, I say happy tidying. Bye!